Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel. And welcome back to the Los Angeles Angels rebuild here on MLB The Show 25. The defending world champion Los Angeles Angels. We beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-2 in the World Series in the last episode, and we have acquired our second world title in 3 seasons. 2027, we beat, I'm pretty sure, the LA Dodgers, because I think we played them twice in 2 years, or 2 years in a row, I should say. In 2027, we won the World Series. 2028, we won 99 games and lost the World Series. That one definitely was to the Dodgers. And then 2029, this past season, we won 111 games and then went all the way to the World Series. Only losing 1 game up until the actual World Series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It took us 6 games to get it, but we were able to do it with this roster. Paul Skeens was unbelievable in the postseason. Miller was okay, but he was spotty at times. Jones was good. Caden Dano was real shaky. And then obviously Thomas Gillian in the postseason was pretty shaky as well. The biggest question of today's offseason episode, as Ronald Acuna was unbelievable in the postseason. The biggest question, as we can see, who won the MVP. So Junior Caminero took home postseason MVP, and Nolan Schonel took home the World Series MVP. He was fantastic. But the biggest question is what happens with Mr. Mike Trout. He is 37 years old, 62 overall. He's got 1 year left on his deal, $35.5 million we will pay him next year. Will he retire finally? Or will he stay for that final year of the contract? That's the biggest question of the offseason today. Let's get into it. Advance to the offseason. Yes, I'm ready to go. Let's start going on. It's time to get started. Advance to the offseason. Yes, I'm ready. Your offseason is about to begin. We have qualifying offers. View retired players. No, he's still here. Those dang contracts. Nolan Arenado retires. Max Fried retires. Spencer Turnbull. Anybody else of note? It looks like there's a couple of names, but nobody. Jose Altuve retires. I don't think any of those guys will make the Hall of Fame. Oh, Altuve and Freeman do. Okay, good for them. Good for them. But Mike Trout is still on this roster. You gotta be kidding me. He's 38 years old, 62 overall. He wants that $35 million. We could have worked out a deal, Mike, where you could have got paid some money if you just retired. You could have got a nice severance package. Thankfully, we don't have to hire a new staff. Our entire staff is still here. Nobody retired. Terry Francona is still moving around. Good for him. But we've got everybody still back on the coaching staff, so we're good there. Exclusive negotiations. Paul Skeens needs a new contract. Oh, no. The qualifying offer is 26.7 for a single season. But I want to lock Mr. Skeens up so quickly that he can't even breathe. So we're going to pay him so much money that it's going to be worth it for him. But everybody else, I might be willing to offer a qualifying offer to, except for maybe Jared Jones. I'd probably want Jared Jones locked up a little bit longer. We'd only have to pay him a little bit more than what his qualifying offer is asking. So I'd be okay with an offer like that. But everybody else, Orion Kerkering, I think I want to get on a contract. He's going to be a lot cheaper than what his qualifying offer would be. Sean will definitely want to get him. What was his qualifying offer? They're all 26 point something. So we can get Nolan Schonel. I mean, Nolan Schonel was so good in the postseason. I feel like we gotta reward that. So we're gonna pay him. We're gonna pay Edward Uceda. I'll give him a 2-year deal. I'd be willing to move him. He's got a very movable contract. Schwarber, we're gonna let walk because he's just not gonna produce. And then Trout, we can exercise his option. The Angels have a club option for Mike Trout. The player will be making $35.5 million in 2030. What would you like to do? Well, we got to exercise the option because if we don't, then, although nobody's going to, you know what? No. I'm going to decline that option because we're going to get him back on a cheap deal. We're going to decline that option. We're going to make an offer to Trout. Yeah, we're going to pay him 1 season of $1 million. 1 season for $1 million. That's your retirement contract, Trout. That's your retirement contract right there. We're going to let you go, Schwarber. Rasmussen and Ben Joyce, I will offer contracts to because they're going to be cheaper than the qualifying offer anyway. So we'll offer these guys contracts. And Bryce Miller, I'm going to pay Bryce Miller a contract, but he's going to be a very, very easy trade, sign and trade deal. So we can go with that. And then Rasmussen, also on a friendly contract, we can trade. So those are going to be the contracts we offer. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money we're potentially giving up here. Today's the last day to offer the qualifying offers. Well, everybody signed except for Kirkering, Jared Jones, and Paul Skeens. I guess Paul Skeens wants to see what he can get on the open market. I hope that he can't get anything on the open market. But at least we were able to get back Bryce Miller, which means we can trade him now. So Miller comes back on our new contract. And now he's got a tradable contract that we can send to a new team. And Mike Trout is back on the team. Thank God he had a team option. I don't know what we would have done with that $35 million, but now we get him on a super cheap deal. We gave him his retirement contract of $1 million. So he's now on the team for one more season, and he will retire an Angel. I'm so happy that retirement thing was, or that exercise option thing was a possibility, because I don't know what we would have done. All right, so we make it to actual free agency. Starting pitchers, he got Tyler Glasnow, who's 36. He got Spencer Strider, asking for $34.8 million. We got $53.6 in the budget. Do we make a splash deal for Spencer Strider? He hasn't really simulated that well this year. I remember last year in 24, he would simulate really, really well. Brian Wu is here in free agency. He had a rough season this past year. He had a pretty solid year the year prior. Very interesting. Brian Wu is definitely an option. Grayson Rodriguez, Hunter Green. Hunter Green's an interesting one. He's not asking for that much. We could probably get Hunter Green fairly cheap. I'm looking at either Brian Wu or Hunter Green as a starting pitcher option. Relief pitching, we're obviously going after Ryan Kirkering. So hopefully we can bring him back, because I'm pretty sad if we can't. Tim Herron. Do I want to go after a bullpen arm like Tim Herron? He had a really good year last year. 2.35 ERA. His whip was a little bit high, but a very solid season. Will Vest is also a possibility to bring in the bullpen. We could use an extra bullpen arm. If we go out here to the pitcher rotation, we got Rasmussen, Ben Joyce. Yeah, we could probably use at least one more guy in the bullpen, maybe two. So we'll figure out what we want to do there. And then we've got closing pitchers. Mason Miller's available, but we have our closer already. I guess we can pay for him just have him as a setup guy is also a possibility. Who else is here? Who's this guy? Justin Martinez. Okay. We got catchers. We have our catcher. First base, second base, Matt McLean. Bryce Terang, Zach Geloff. Ketel Marte's really dropped off as his overall wise, because he's 36 years old now. Third baseman, no. Shortstop, Mason Wynn's available. We don't really need a shortstop with Zach Neto available on the team. Left field, Wyatt Langford. Brent Rooker's here. Does he have the power still? 43 home runs last year. Brent Rooker might be a cheap contract. 1 year, $25 million. Maybe it's not as cheap as I thought. Center field, Jackson Merrill's available. Jordan Walker in right field. Let me go back in here and take a look at the roster. So we don't need a right fielder. We don't need a shortstop. We don't need a center fielder. We could sign Brent Rooker to be either a DH/power bat off the bench. Eiley Perez, we don't need a catcher. Theo Gillen in left field is probably not going to be the guy, because James Wood's there. Forgot about James Wood. He got hurt. That's right. So James Wood's our left fielder, so we don't need a left fielder. Nolan Schonnel is not going to be our everyday first baseman, I don't think. But having him off the bench is a good idea. Oh, Hoppy, we're probably going to trade. I think I'm going to trade O'Hoppy. So we would be looking for a DH, unless Schonnel becomes that DH, and then we don't need a third baseman with Caminero. So the only positions that we could use is first base/DH. A starting first baseman/DH are the only positions in the infield that we're looking for, which is pretty good, because first base is not available. We could probably trade for a first baseman, or we could sign maybe Brent Rooker as that absolute power bat off the bench. 1 year, $25 million is a little bit expensive, especially if we're going to go after a couple of pitchers too. I kind of want to go after either Brian Wu or Hunter Green. They're both 30 years old. Hunter Green's slightly cheaper. They both didn't have great years. And we know Hunter Green kind of struggles in sim, so I don't know if I want to pay him the money just for him to struggle. I'm not sure. We need to get these tender contracts out and the arbitration figured out. So let's offer. Actually, I probably should just sign some of these guys. Like James Wood, we know is going to be. Although arbitration's super cheap. No, let's offer arbitration. I don't want to waste these years of arbitration. Although 17.1 million for Rhett Lauder's kind of crazy, actually. 8.7 for Caminero is not bad. Lee Brister is 4.2. That's not bad at all. Jacques is very cheap. Bo is very cheap. Christian Campbell. We probably should move Christian Campbell because we're not going to use him, are we? He's just not done much. Which is kind of unfortunate. I was hoping he would develop. He hasn't really gotten the opportunity, to be fair. All right, so we offer arbitration to those guys. All we have left to do is figure out if we want to. So if I offer, oh my God, Rhett Lauder's asking for unbelievable amounts of money if we offer him actual contract. I guess we could just offer him arbitration. 17.1 is cheaper than the 28 we'd have to pay him. So we offer all those guys arbitration deals. And then the tender contracts, how many is it? It's a decent amount. So I'm going to go and do this really quickly. Get all these guys renewed. And then we will figure out our game plan for free agency / maybe trading somebody. I don't know yet. All right, all of the tender contracts have been done. We've renewed everybody. Obviously, you saw me offer all the salary arbitration deals. So we are ready to make our decision for what we're going to do in free agency, what we're going to do in the trade market. We have $61 million in available budget. What do we do? What do we do? I think Bryce Miller is a guaranteed trade piece. I think he's a guaranteed. He's one of the easiest sign and trade deals. Oh, never mind. I forgot about that. Okay, so we can't trade him before June 15th. But I do think that he is a guaranteed trade piece at the deadline. So we'll have Bryce Miller for the start of the year. Thomas Gillian makes the roster. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Gillian at 5. Caden Dana. What do I want to do with you, big dog? What do I want to do with you? You didn't pitch very bad at all during the regular season. I don't know what I want to do with you. Bryce Miller is traded at the deadline. That's pretty much a guarantee. But do I need, if we're going to just keep the same roster or the same rotation, do I need to offer Hunter Green or Brian Wu? Woo! I don't know. I don't think I need either of them if I'm going to keep those two guys, because we'd have Gillian. Gillian's going to make the big league club. That's a guarantee. So that's our 5th roster spot. So these guys kind of be a waste, I think. So the bullpen is probably where we have to go. And Orion Kirkgreen, it looks like he didn't accept any of our offers, so we're just going to have to pay him a new contract. But I need him back on this team. And I would like to bring in maybe one more bullpen arm just to be on the safe side. Who that is, I don't know. Evan Phillips had a great year in Pittsburgh last year. But at 35, do we think he slows down? Or 36, I guess he'd probably be. Tim Herron also had a good year. Will Vest had a very good year. He's had 2 straight good years. But does he have a 3rd straight good year? I don't know. That's a big question. Is he going to have 3 straight good years? I think we do need to offer one more of these guys. I just don't know who it is. I think we could try to get Tim Herron because he's got these 2 good years. Does he have a 3rd straight good year? He might. Evan Phillips has had a good year. He's had a couple of good years in a row, but not as good. I mean, he had a really good year. Did he win an award? He won Reliever of the Year this past season. But does he bounce and have a similar good year? I don't know. I feel like if we needed a guy like Evan Phillips, we could try to trade for him. I'm going to go after Tim Herron. See what happens there. And then we will go after one more player. Could be a bullpen arm, or a closer and just put him in the regular bullpen. Or we go after a guy like Brent Rooker, like I've been talking about, and just bring in a guaranteed home run off the bench. I think that's what we're going to do. That's our game plan for this season, or for this offseason. We're going to offer Ryan Kirkgreen. We tried to get him in exclusive free agency. He seemed to not like that. So we're going to offer him this much money, and hopefully 60% is the best motivation that we can get. And we get the 5% boost. So we get 65%. Hopefully he just goes and accepts that straight up. And we'll see what happens. Let's move on a little bit. Contract decision incoming. Orion Kirkgreen, are you coming back? Please tell me he's coming back. Show me the pen. Show me the pen in the contract. Yes, Orion Kirkgreen is back on this roster. Welcome back. My mom always said I was a cherub, and now I'm on the Angels. Welcome back, Orion. Today's the day to offer contracts. Beautiful. We got him back. That is exactly what we needed to do. Our budget's 47.6. All right, let's get back to the free agency. We are at 11% on Tim Herron. Ooh, okay. We can offer Brent Rooker, though. We need to go for... He's a relief pitcher. He's a lefty. So we need to go for team needs. We need to go to left-handed pitching and get the power pitching on there so we can get the positional boost, because we can offer Brent Rooker right now. So offer Brent Rooker a contract, $25 million for a single season. You know what? I'd go 2 years. I'd go 2 years on Brent Rooker. We get that 5% boost as well. That's pretty much a guarantee he's going to sign. Nobody's going to pay him that much money. The Royals are offering me a contract. They want to give me Mariano Aguero, who's a shortstop, B potential, 23 years old, for Leo Dominguez, a starting pitcher, who's also B potential. He's got a lot of people ahead of him. He's got, Albert Myers I would probably even consider ahead of him, but I do like Leo Dominguez. He's got Cooper Herpy. He's got Durangelo. I don't see any way that that Leo makes the roster in this series, the big league club. But at shortstop, we've got Hoyt Cook, who's got a lot of power at shortstop. And being a 69 overall, he'd probably be right around here. He's good depth at shortstop. I don't know if I'd be willing to give up Leo Dominguez, though. But, he's not ever going to play, is he? I'd probably be more willing to give up Cooper than I would be. You know what? Let me decline the trade, but then let me go try to finesse him a little bit here. Let me go try to finesse the Royals here. I'd be willing to give up Cooper, but not Leo. I know that I said that Cooper's probably, or Leo's not going to make the team, but let me see what they got. So they'd be interested in making this deal. So we give up Cooper, we get back Mariano Aguero. I think that's a good depth piece. Cooper's never going to do anything for us, and we get some extra depth in here at shortstop. Okay, thank you, Royals, for making that deal for me. I appreciate that. We are still working on signing people. Mason Miller signs a 5-year deal with the Mets. Okay. Wyatt Langford going to the Dodgers. That's just fantastic. And now we've got Rule 5 draft, or not Rule 5 draft, 40-man roster stuff to take care of. We've currently got 38 people on the 40-man. So who needs to be here on the 40-man roster? You're going to make the big league club, or not the big league club, the AA team. Who is on the 40-man that needs to, or who's not on the 40-man? Elton Wells, I could see on the 40-man because he's got a chance to be Rule 5. Actually, he's not even Rule 5 eligible. That's okay. Aguero's not Rule 5 eligible. All of you guys are Rule 5 eligible, but I don't care if you get taken. And then AAA roster. Leo Dominguez is not Rule 5 eligible. Brock Burke is, but I don't necessarily care if he gets taken. I think we're good. I think the 40-man roster is pretty good. So we're going to move on. Contract decision incoming. What is Brent Rooker going to say? Will he say yes or will he say no? Will he stay or will he go? He will sign the contract. There's the pen and the contract. Brent Rooker is an Angel. And that is a huge power bat. Mason Wynn signs a 6-year deal with the Braves. Tyler Glasnow signs a 3-year deal with the Tigers. That is a big-time power bat coming off the bench. Brent Rooker, huge. And he might even be the DH. Because remember, we're trading Logan O'Hoppe, so he might even be the DH. That's a big-time power bat. And can I trade O'Hoppe right now? I would either get a first baseman or a catcher for O'Hoppe. Not a starting catcher, a backup catcher, just for depth. But I would either get a first baseman or a catcher for O'Hoppe. What kind of first base prospects, or not prospects, but first base players are out there? Anybody worth starting? Because 84 overall is what O'Shaughnell is. Or just regular shot, not O'Shaughnell. Matt Olson is on the Orioles now, okay. But he's not what he used to be. The first base market's not that good anymore, is it? There's not really that many high overall first basemen. You got Torkelson, Vladdy Jr., Bryce Harper, but he's 37 at this point. Kind of interesting. First, Vinny Pasquantino is there. The Burger Man. You got Tristan Casas. I mean, we kind of have one of the better first basemen in baseball in Nolan Shaw. You know what? We might as well just keep him. Might as well keep him. But I feel like O'Hoppe, we can get something for him. I don't know what we can get for him, but we can get something for him. There's got to be something. Maybe I can package O'Hoppe and grab myself. We have a good bullpen. We have a good closing pitcher. I don't know. I don't really know what there is to grab at this point. We can't get Roman Anthony. We can't get Jackson Holiday. We can get Fernando Tatis, but I don't really want Fernando Tatis. We don't need a right fielder because we have Ronald Acuna at right field, and we have James Tibbs. I kind of want to bring Shohei back. If this is going to be like the final year of Angels franchise, or one of the final years of Angels franchise, I kind of want to bring Shohei back to the team. But how does that happen? It happens by trading one of these guys, I think. But that's not going to happen. Shohei is on my list of guys that I want to bring back. That is for sure. If we're going to do one last year of Angels baseball, or a couple more years of Angels baseball, I would like to bring him back. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. We'll see. Maybe in season, maybe during the season, like during the trade deadline, once all of our guys are available to be traded in the first place, maybe that's when we can make a move for Ohtani. Jesus Mate or Jesus Mate, however you want to say his name, would be cool. He'd be a nice starting shortstop, but we have Zach Neto. Elliot de la Cruz, can't trade for him. Noelvi Marte's developed fairly well for the Reds. Good for him. Alec Bohm, Felix Cordero. Who are you? Whoa, he's actually fairly decent. When was he taken? He was taken in 2025. He was a first-round pick in 2025, so he's a real guy. I'm not sure who he is. He could be our second base replacement for Rengifo. Interesting. That could be a possibility. Who's their catching prospects they have? They have this guy, Thayron Liranzo. Then they have Caleb Lomavita. They don't really have a lot of depth at catcher, do they? Adrian Espinoza. I'll come back to Felix Cordero. He could be a solid option. He's their highest overall player, which is kind of scary. Phillies, $51 million for Juan Soto. Oh my god. He's 31 years old. He's declining his home run power. That's an ugly deal for the Mets. Yuri Perez, Otto Lopez, Jason Dominguez, Mason Wynn just signed there. Felix Bautista's the highest overall Ranger. Tristan McKenzie's here, and he's actually developed. All right. Mackenzie Gore, he was on the Angels for a little bit. He was here for, I think, a season and a half. Then we got him at the trade deadline of season 2. Lawrence Butler is a 99 overall. There's no trades where I could grab Lawrence Butler. That would be a pretty sick one to have on the team. He's not very expensive either. I didn't realize Lawrence Butler was going to develop to a 99 overall. I don't really have anybody else I could toss in this deal, so... At least nobody that they would want, so we can't get Lawrence Butler. That'd be pretty awesome. Bubich, Bobby Witt, Devers. We've had Devers before. How's Devers doing? He had 1 year in Detroit. He put up 38 home runs, 283. I'm okay with when we traded him away because we got Junior Caminero. But at least he had a good year for the Tigers. Good for him. Emmanuel Clase, Royce Lewis. I've always wanted Royce Lewis. I don't know. O'Hoppe might just stay on the team just because I don't know if there's any trades that I want to make. And I don't want to just trade him for nothing. If I'm going to trade him, I'm going to trade him for something worth trading for. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Luis Robert's developed fairly well. Don't need outfield, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off on the trade right now. We're going to keep moving on. Today's the day to offer contracts. So I've got up to 20% on Tim Herrin. I don't think I'm going to offer anybody else. I think Tim Herrin's the last guy that I'm going to go after. Because this free agency class was not that great. So we're just going to try to wait on Tim Herrin, see what happens. Last day to offer arbitration. I've done all that. Grayson Rodriguez signs a 7-year, $200 million deal with the Guardians. Jackson Merrill signs a 6-year deal with the Brewers. They'd offer free agents. Tristan Casas traded from the Red Sox to the A's for a couple youngsters. Okay. Andrew Nardi from the Pirates to the Yankees for Leonardo De Villar and Bernardo Zamora. Some big trades happening. Tanner Scott traded from the Tigers to the Padres. Spencer Strider signs back with the Braves, 5-year deal. Another day off for contracts. We're up to 38% on him. The Dodgers and Cardinals are interested in Tim Herrin as well. I can maybe go after a Will Vest. I'm going to put Will Vest on the board as well, just in case the Herrin deal falls through. Barry Hampton traded 22-year-old closing pitcher from the White Sox to the Phillies. And the Phillies trade away their closer, so they must not have liked him. Shelby Penn, they didn't like him at all. And here's the draft lottery. We are obviously the final pick in the draft because we won the World Series. But who's going to get the number 1 overall pick? It will be... Who's got the luck of the draw? It will be the Toronto Blue Jays with number 1 overall pick. They probably deserve it. They won 64 games. And then the Reds jump all the way from... where were they? They jumped 11 spots. Wow. Cincinnati goes crazy. They had a 0.9% chance to get the number 1 pick, and they got number 2. What a jump for the Reds. Good for them. Good for them. A day to offer contracts. That's the Rule 5 draft. I didn't mean to do that, but I guess I'll go to it anyway. Let's advance. Tyler Locklear, nobody that I care about's getting taken, which never really it is anybody anyway. And that's the Rule 5 draft. There we go. Perfect. But free agency. Roansy Contreras. Roansy Contreras. He had a rough year last year, but he had 2 fairly decent years the years prior. I don't think I want him. I'm not interested. We're up to 46% on Tim Herrin, and we're up to 45% on Will Vest. Okay. That's pretty good. We're getting closer on at least one of those guys. Within the next couple of days, we should be able to offer them. And here it is for Will Vest. Do I want to go after him or not? This is my last chance. Oh, he had 2 good years. He did have 2 good years in a row. And even if I go after him, it doesn't guarantee that I'm going to get him. Will Vest. I think I'm going to offer him a contract. I think I am. I'm going to offer him 1 year, $9 million, and we're going to see if he accepts that. That takes away our chance to get Tim Herrin if he does accept it. And he doesn't. He's going to the Diamondbacks. Okay, they offered him 2 years and about the same amount of money. All right, well, it looks like we've narrowed down our decision. It's going to be Tim Herrin. Let's offer him a contract. We're going to give him $10 million for 1 season, and hopefully he accepts that. We get the 5% motivation boost. Let's hope that Tim Herrin is now a Los Angeles Angel. Here's the contract decision. Show me the pen, not the phone. Show me the pen, not the phone. It is the pen. Tim Herrin is a Los Angeles Angel. So we boost our bullpen up a little bit more. And now we have 41 players on the 40-man roster. We boost our bullpen up a little bit more with the addition of Tim Herrin. I like that a lot. But who comes off the 40-man? Probably the guy that I threw on there, which was... Actually, you know what? Victor Gonzalez comes off the 40-man. Get off my 40-man roster. Who do you think? Oh, never mind. He will come off the 40-man at some point. Ethan Wells or Elton Wells will stay on the 40-man. But for right now, I think Taylor Rogers has to come off. So bye-bye Taylor Rogers. Obviously, Trout stays on. Let's keep moving on. We're almost to salary arbitration when we get to February. We're not going to offer any more contracts because really we have no more money. Jack Flaherty signs a 3-year deal with the A's. We have about $5 million in available money. Brian Wu finally signs a deal. He signs with the Tigers. All right. So the American League's getting pretty strong, although Wu was already in the American League with the Mariners. Hunter Green goes to the Yankees. What a deal for the Yankees. What a deal for Hunter Green. All right, he's going to New York. Maybe he can do it, maybe he can't. Who knows? But we get to arbitration. Here we go. 13 million for Junior Caminero because they sided with the panel sided with him. The panel sided with Jacques, so we're paying him 4.2. The panel sides with Bo, so we're paying him 8.6. Panel sides with us for Lee Brister, so we're paying him 4.2. They sided with us for James Wood, so we're paying him a cool 7 mil. The panel sided with us for Sam Bachman, so we're paying him 4.2. They sided with Victor Gonzalez, so we're paying him 1.49. And then they sided with Rhett Lauder, we're paying him 23.9. And the final one's Christian Campbell, they sided with him, so we're paying him 5.3. They sided with us for Brock Burke, 1.6. And Jose Suarez, they sided with Suarez, so we're paying him 848K. That is all of the arbitration deals done. Everything is completed. All money is done changing hands, and that leaves us with negative $17 million in the available budget. I think it was worth it. I think this team is better. With the addition of Brent Rooker, I like a lot. I like the addition of Brent Rooker a lot. He's definitely going to be our DH because I don't know what we do with O'Hoppe. I still think we should trade him. Because we have our catcher. Everything's done. I still think O'Hoppe's the last piece to be traded. So I do think Brent Rooker is our everyday DH. I just don't know what happens to O'Hoppe. I think he gets traded. I just don't know what he gets traded for. Last day to renew contracts. I'm all done with everything there. We're done with the offseason. So let's get to the spring training, and then let's advance to the good old-fashioned regular season. So boom, bada bing. Thomas Gillian has been placed on the optional waivers. That's not good. Why would they send him down? That sucks. That sucks a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Well, I want Gillian to make the roster. Hopefully nobody takes him. He's cleared waivers and been sent to optional. Okay, thank God. So Thomas Gillian is still on the team. He's going to make the big league roster, I think, right? He's got to. That's Durangelo. He's got to make the big league club, I think. He pitched well in his 5 games. A 2.63 and a .99 whip. I think it's ready for him to start, but we don't have any room. Caden Dan has taken up some spots. We're trading Bryce Miller at the deadline. Unless he has like a nuclear season. I guess that's the only way we don't trade him. The bullpen's looking good. We've got 3 closers in the bullpen. Dear Lord, okay. I don't think we need all of these guys. But Santiago has no more options, unfortunately. We've got 2 catchers. We got first base, second base. Theo got moved down. Okay. James Wood and Brent Rooker are up here. Nelson Rada's up here. Stop putting Nelson Rada up here. I don't think he's ready. Well, I want Theo Gillen up on the big league team, so I need to move Nelson Rada down. So he's going to have to put through waivers. Because I want Theo up on the bigs. And then, because he's the defending rookie of the year. Braden Montgomery just hasn't really done anything for me, has he? He had 30 at-bats, hit 300, but that's a very small sample size. I don't know. Our bullpen is very full, though, with the addition of the extra closer, Santiago Estrella. We have a very full bullpen now with Tim Herron, so maybe we have to trade somebody. Maybe Bo gets traded. Can I trade Bo for anything? Where's Bo at? There's Bo. Can I trade Bo for anything, maybe? Maybe like, what do I need? Maybe some extra depth somewhere. Maybe an extra depth at second base. Or catcher. Let's try extra depth at catcher. Is there anybody that has decent catcher depth? Somebody that's young? Jefferson Cuero's here. Who's young and could be good depth at catcher? Blake Mitchell's got some potential. I want somebody that could start in the major leagues if he had to. Keith Westbrook could be that guy. I remember this guy. Keith Westbrook, I remember him from the first year. I feel like I wanted him. He's got B potential. Keith Westbrook's on my list. That's definitely a guy that I might go after. If I can't find anybody that I like better, that might be who I get. Carter Jensen looks okay. Marcelo Cruz has got decent power. All right. Marcelo Cruz could be a guy I'm thinking about. I think it's going to either be... Here's Samuel Basayo. I think it's going to be that guy. I remember in that first draft, I remember Keith Westbrook, and I wanted him. He looks very good. His power is not necessarily there. He had 4 home runs and 159 at-bats. He's not really a home run hitter, but he looks more complete than Marcelo Cruz does. Cruz has got more power. Who's the better player? Cruz is the better fielder. Westbrook has better discipline, I think. Better plate skills. Yeah, he's got way better clutch, vision, discipline than Marcelo. Marcelo looks like he's only a power catcher. And we kind of already have that with Eiley. So I think trading for Keith Westbrook might be a good idea. It gets us some extra depth in the catching organization. We can toss you in a deal. We can toss Javier Baez in a deal. I don't want to trade Poisson. We have a lot of second base depth. I feel like I should just trade Christian Moore. He's never turned into anything. I feel kind of bad for him. Who do I get rid of, though? I got a lot of bums. I got a lot of bums on this team. Not going to give up Ertl. I guess I can give up Israel Cairo. We just drafted him in 2029. Is he going to be worth it? Probably not. So I'll toss him in the deal. We'll get rid of Javi Baez as well. We'll bring in Keith Westbrook, somebody that I've wanted for a while. I remember that first draft, and now we got him. Keith Westbrook's on the team. That gives us a little bit extra catcher depth, and we get rid of Bo in the bullpen. I don't hate Bo. Bo was a good player, but we needed more. We needed room in the bullpen. We got a lot of guys in this bullpen. It's kind of stacked. So Estrella's here now. Uceda's not really a long relief guy. Just Rasmussen's not really either, but we're going to make him. Brister's our closer. I don't know what we're doing here. Kirk Reed's not going to be our closer. He's going to be one of our setup guys with Tim Herron. And then we got Uceda, Estrella, and Ben Joyce along with Rasmussen. I like that bullpen a little bit. And then if I was going to make any other trades, it probably would be Caden Dana because I really want Gillian to be a starter. So I think if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be trading him. But who do I trade him for? Maybe extra left field depth or outfield depth? I don't really want to trade Dana. Dana was good, but I want Gillian to start, and there's no room outside of that because we can't trade Bryce Miller just yet, so we can't do anything there. Is there any youngsters in the outfield? There's got to be somebody that's decent, right? Antonio Cruz is too far away. You got this guy, Marlon Telshaw. Good contact, but not any power. If I'm going to trade for an outfielder, I want him to have a little bit of power. There's got to be a stud. Salmon? How would you even say that name? I don't know, but he's interesting. He made an all-star team in minors. Brent Silva. There's Jason Churio. John Butcher's too far away, but he's very fast. 84 speed. Jacob Melton. There's no left fielders with like crazy good potential. Peter Roth is interesting. Good power or good contact. It's kind of crazy the lack of solid, amazing outfield options. Young outfield options, I mean. Marlon Telshaw's about the best one, but there's no power anywhere. Like, where's the guy that's going to hit 50 bombs? Well, maybe not 50, but where's the guy that's going to hit like 35, 40 bombs? Maybe they're in center field? Samad Taylor. Have there not been any amazing draft picks that have come up that have got good power options? I guess not. Pedro Mesa's good speed. There's Drew Jones, but Drew Jones isn't really worth it, is he? I mean, maybe he'd be a fun one. Oh, the Diamondbacks have no money. Never mind. Can't trade for him. Who's this guy? Josh, or no, how would you, Jose? Would that be Josu? I don't even know how to say that. But he looks like a freak. I kind of want this guy. How do I get you? How does one acquire you? I'd probably have to give up Benny Montgomery. Or Braden, not Benny Montgomery, Braden Montgomery. If I did that, I'm not going to give up Bobby Benedict. Not going to give up Ertl. I probably would give up Poisson. Robert Poisson. I might do that. That's a steal of a trade right there. So Caden Dana goes to the Dodgers, of all teams. But he's not going to start, is he? He's kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 5th starter on the team. But we bring in a stud center fielder in De Paula, who's got decent speed, good contact and power for an outfielder. That's a big time addition to the squad. I like that a lot. So we got rid of what's his face. So we need Gillian back up here because he's going to be our 5th starter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then who's going down? Oh, Keith Westbrook probably goes down. That's right. He's got options. Perfect. So he goes down. You go down to AA. And then beautiful. So now we have this guy up here. De Paula is up in the bigs. We've got Theo Gillen up here. Bobby Benedict was up here. He didn't hit very well in his 18 at-bats. Christian Campbell, Jacques, Eiley Perez. And then Gillian is now our 5th starter. Still a rookie, technically. So he can still win Rookie of the Year. All right, that's, I think, where we're going to leave the offseason episode. I think we've made enough moves. I think we've done enough stuff. With the trade of Caden Dana, where does that leave our budget? Just get rid of these notifications real quick. Where does that leave our budget? $33.61 million in available money. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. And we're still going to be trading Bryce Miller most likely. That's the plan. There's the De Paula trade. That's the plan, is to trade Bryce Miller at the deadline. Will he actually? What if he's having a good season? He'll probably stay around. If he's like got a sub 3 ERA or around a low 3 ERA, I'll probably keep him. But if he's not pitching that well, then he's gonna get traded most likely. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Paul Skeens is obviously staying around. The lineup looks pretty solid. De Paula has played a game for the Dodgers. I don't know how he played a game for the Dodgers. He played because he played in the Korea series, and then we traded for him. I didn't realize the Korea series already happened. That's my bad. Well, he played a game, and he's leading the league in average with 667. He's got to get on the field. How do we get him on the field? He's 87 overall, center fielder. He can only play the outfield spots. How does he play? Jacques, right now, they have him as our first baseman. I think I want Sean to be our first baseman. Everyday first baseman. How does De Paula play? Because he looks to be unbelievable. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. He's good depth right now. All right. That's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more. Join the Juice Club. Next episode, we will start what could be the final season. It all depends on, like I said, how far the real-life baseball playoffs get by the time we finish our season. So by the time this year ends, what would this be, the 7th season? Let me go to the GM goals. So 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29. So this is 2030. This is the 6th year of Angels baseball. This would be, when the 6th season ends, hopefully the real MLB playoffs are not that close to being done, because then we might be able to power through one extra season. But if they're close to being done as we get to our playoffs, then we're probably going to be the end of the season, or the final season of the series. But we'll figure it out. We still got a whole season to think about that, so we'll get there. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watch. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.